All right, there's something happening in the shadows of this show here that I need to tell people about because Chris Cody just sort of exclaimed to himself as if he didn't hear it during something that you had read previously. Wait a minute. Drinking Mountain Dew can dissolve a mouse. We are now saying that as a fact. That's not an opinion. Scientists have said it's a fact. Like, hold on.
I don't know if that's a fact.
Well, what? Then why are we putting it in the news?
If it's an and finally, it's a fact. I am telling you. Okay, I'm telling you, it's a fact. I'll look it up for you. I'll get some context for you.
If it says and finally, I expect my and finallys to be factual. Like that's. I assume that what you're telling me there is so. So who, according to whom, and this is a media problem throughout this country right now, that you guys think that facts are just because somebody put it in a sentence on the internet. I don't mean to lecture you. But just like with Stan Van Gundy yesterday, we were arguing about what's a fact and what's not a fact. And he says going 13 for 15 is a fact. Or we're like, no, Baker Mayfield having the goods is a fact.
I'm just trying to cover us legally, just in case this isn't actually a fact. Someone said this. But here's the thing. I'm very worried about Tim Kirchin.
Seriously? Oh, my God.
Well, this is the thing. This is exactly what I'm talking about because of this. And this is not cool, and I don't know what to do about it, okay? This is the issue we got around here. Allison is just too nice and too thoughtful, and she comes up with too many great ideas. We have a curse around this show. You know of this curse. It's what happens, Stugotz?
I'm watching a video. They're doing the experiment. They're dissolving a mouse with Mountain Dew on YouTube. 6.5 million views. Is that credible enough? And the mouse completely disappeared.
Was it heated? Like the Mountain Dew, or did they just pour?
I can't even watch it. I mean, MountainDewMouses.com. Go check it out.
Mouses.com.
Mouses.com.
How great is that? Thank you, Chris, for laughing at that.
Oh, my God.
Chris, how can I work under these conditions? Seriously, I want you to think about that.
Poor mouses.
He is so interested in making the Stugotz jokes that I can't move.
Meese?
So let me get to this damn story because it would appear, and this is going to be a problem with human resources, that we're trying to kill Tim Kirchin. This is where we are with this. He's one of the sweetest men I've ever met across the universe. We love him around here. There is next to nobody who doesn't like Tim Kirchin. Although I was about to say there is someone at ESPN that both me and Tim Kirchin have a problem with, and I would just love to bury that person right now. Bury that person, but it would infuriate Tim Kirchin if I did that, because there's one person at ESPN who got really mad. That is the correct use of that, Billy. Well done. Yeah, I was going to bury someone.
Amis?
Favorite ice cream brand and flavor. That, by the way, hold on a second. Forgive me if you're just joining us. That is the magic creative content. Whenever it begins to play, everything has to stop on the show. It's totally coincidental that it happens almost every time I'm talking about something I shouldn't be talking about. It's weird how coincidental that is.
Crazy.
What is your favorite ice cream flavor and why? Do you guys have any controversial ice cream opinions?
I like Froyo better than ice cream.
Wow.
What? Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Froyo better than ice cream.
Ben & Jerry's, best brand. That's crazy, Billy, by the way.
Nuts.
No. You go to a Froyo bar. These are things now. Have you been to Froyo? Of course, you've been to Froyo bars. You guys go to Froyo bars. You can get the cup, right? And they basically charge you based on the weight of this, object. So you get the cup, which, by the way, how much does that cup weigh? Because I feel like if I just put the empty cup on the thing, they're already charging me 57 cents or something because they're doing it just by weight.
What's your strategy with this? I go like 2 pieces of everything.
What do you mean?
Like, 2 pieces of Reese's Pieces, 2 pieces of Snickers. Like, I'll just put a little bit of everything.
Do you ever mix Froyo?
Yeah. I go opposites. I'll go something sweet and something tart. And then I'll put in like cookie dough, which is bad for you, I guess, if it's uncooked. But these places sell you the cookie dough. But you can get sick if you don't cook cookie dough.
Cookie dough is
it's
delicious.
delicious.
Did you really just ruin cookie dough by just giving me the IMDb of things that can happen to you if you eat cookie dough?
Oh, I still eat it.
Why are
it's
you
the most dangerous thing I do.
Why are you so plagued by fear, Billy, of everything that's good? Like, cookie dough is amazing, and you were about to give me a long resume of reasons that I shouldn't eat cookie dough.
It's the most dangerous thing he does.
I don't think twice.
It's a wild night out for him, man.
How true is that, by the way? Why are you afraid of everything? Of everything. Cookie dough, you drive, you think you're going to get a blood clot in your leg.
People get blood clots. I mean, these are things you need to think about. So what I do is I get something sweet, I get something tart or tangy, I'll put the cookie dough in there. Sometimes if I'm feeling crazy, I'll put gummy bears. The problem with gummy bears is you put it in ice cream, they get hard and they freeze.
You gotta eat them early.
You can turn on your mic. And then what you do is you mix it all up. Ooh, hot fudge also. And then I mix it all up, and it's like a party of flavors in my mouth. I don't know what's what. It ends up looking like really dark brown and just like I'm shoveling poop in my mouth, but it's delicious.
I used to do that with my ice cream when I was little. I would stir it up and turn it into soup. Now that's not like anything I would do these days. Why did I do that when I was young? It's so much better when it's thick.
I love that you have to eat the gummies early.
You do. You do. Hard to chew.
I used to do it too. We called it suey though. We called it we called it suey. Yeah, we actually called it suey. It was the suey before the suey. Yes, we did. Yeah, mixed it all up, the chocolate, the vanilla, the mixed cups, maybe some strawberry, and we just mixed it all up till it was soupy, suey.
At Lebatard Show on Twitter and Instagram.
Dan, you probably eat some like vegan ice cream. That's not even ice cream, right?
That's right. No dairy, no gluten.
milk.
Yes, I mean, it's made of
milk or
cashews.
something.
That's right, and cacao from the finest places in Africa.
Yeah, but that Breyer's cookies and cream.
That's right. That's $100,000 an ounce, and I eat it in a bathtub every night. 20 ounces is in my diet.
The Breyer's cookies and cream ice cream with the real Oreos in it.
I love just ice cream cake, period. That doesn't get to be a flavor, but if you're going to give me a flavor, it's got to be birthday cake from Cold Stone. Like that. All of you are wrong. Wait a minute. No, you didn't hear me right. The birthday cake at Carvel is the holiest of all ice cream grails.
Okay, good.
Please stop interrupting me doing your own show. I can have fun, too, making cake jokes. It's not just your jokes, everyone working for you all the time. Sometimes they can work for me, too. Cake batter ice cream. Cold Stone. The best ever. If you disagree, go to hell.
Don Lebatard.
Limited fake Tim Kirchner. What do the Royals have to do to make the playoffs?
Stugotz.
Dan, the Royals are really good.
This is the Don Lebatard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Get in touch with the show anytime to the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed. It's at Lebatard Show, at Stugotz790. Dan, it's time for Straight Talk. It is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts.
I tried Straight Talk. It was discouraged by that infernal box that plays the happy music, and even though it brings evil and power and control and communism, it is happy music.
I mean, it brought ice cream talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Have you ever been to Cold Stone and not waited in line? Every time I'm there, I wait in line. I could be the only one in there, and I'll wait in line for 10 minutes.
I think it's kind of gone down in popularity. I recently I went to a Cold Stone, and there was no line where I live.
But you still waited 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. You'll wait 10 minutes every time, even if you're the only one in there, yes.
Has anyone ever asked you to have ice cream Cold Stone specifically delivered on a Saturday afternoon in Miami Beach?
No.
Was the cacao in there? Was that from the cacao distributor that I asked you about?
Different task. Cacao Bits was the gluten-free pancakes at night. Weird.
Do you want to, you guys here for just ask Allison questions about, go ahead. Billy, Billy, you've never been that confident about anything in your life.
Well,
the question you have never answered so vigorously and so excitedly any question I've ever asked you because you're perpetually plagued by fear. What was I just going to ask?
Well, we were on the same page because this seemed like a very specific example, which made me wonder if there's constantly strange requests like this.
What would you like asked? How would you like to do this? I'm perfectly fine playing the game where you interrogate Allison, asking her questions about my personal life because she has to handle so many details for me because you clowns can't do anything.
Billy, you look like you've been waiting for this game, for this segment your entire life. Just fire away, man. Ask the questions. Okay, Dan's going to be fine. Ask the questions.
Go ahead and play music and produce it up and do whatever radio thingies you've learned over the years. And, oh, no, everyone's in a panic. Let's bounce into each other. No, can't do it this way, Dan. Ask her whatever you want to ask her. Do a radio show. Feel free.
What's the strangest request you've gotten? Off hours.
The gluten-free pancakes in the cacao bits, bananas, blueberries, strawberries, I think, or there was one fruit that wasn't allowed. That was an odd
that's
one.
Valerie can't eat certain things. I ain't ordering that for me at home. I will get that woman anything she wants to eat. Anything from anywhere in the world, or Allison will.
Low sodium soup. Not in a can.
That was from my dad. He's an old man with a salt problem.
He said an odd request. It was an odd request because it couldn't be in a can. It had to be delivered warm.
Wait a minute.
And it was at night.
That's the greatest. Hold on. Let's tell this whole story.
Please.
Because locally in Miami, they're going to love this story. Let's tell this entire story, Allison, you and me, because I think Stugotz is going to love this story.
Can't wait.
We can do this the rest of the show if you guys want. Just ask Allison how weird I am. She'll answer anything.
We got music.
Okay, great.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Perfect music.
How do you want to do it? That's what you guys came up with a minute to prepare as I filibustered?
Yeah.
That's all? You guys found a sound?
This is good music for this segment.
It really is.
Well,
yeah.
what is the segment?
The segment is basically Allison telling us how weird you are.
Yes.
And these weird requests.
All right, well, then let me get out of it.
Maybe the listeners want to ask Allison some questions.
786-456-4837 if you want to ask Allison.
I got a great soup story for you. You just lost that story. I'm taking it back. You can't have that story.
What do you mean? No.
I'm sorry.
Turn the music off.
I'm sorry. Please tell the story.
No.
Please.
Pretty please.
Allison, should we tell the story? Yes or no?
It is a good story.
But is it a good enough story? All right, you produced the show for a second, Allison. What's better, this story or going down their wacky path of insanity as Chris still shakes his shoulders to the music that is no longer playing and stopped about 40 seconds
Let's
ago?
go down their wacky path.
All right, let's do it their way.
Boom, 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 boom.
So we're going to hear the soup story or not?
We're not getting the soup
No
story?
soup
Come
story.
on. Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
I'll turn the music back off.
You ruined it. As you do a lot of
Soup
things.
story is like the kickoff of the whole thing. It is. It's like kickoff. This is
It's-
NFL music. We're having Football Friday.
Sets the tone.
Come on.
Kick it off.
Let's do it. Yeah. Ho. Hey.
Tell us about this.
All right, fine. Here it is. The soup story you didn't know you needed. The soup story that you didn't know you wanted. My father is an old man. You may have heard. I host a television show with him in the afternoons. He's become more and more cantankerous. He is bitter. He is probably going to hold out on the company. I'm going to have to fight Disney in August. They think I'm joking. He's not. He's going to end this television show if they don't pay him better. No joke. Anyone will tell you. The old man was sick, and I got to keep that gravy train healthy. You understand what I'm saying? My father needs soup. Mother bleeper, where do we need to go to get the soup that has no salt in it? The answer's Allison. But the request might have been a little bit absurd. Allison, why?
Because it couldn't be in a can. It was at night, and you said low sodium soup. It has to be delivered warm, and he can't heat it up himself.
And again, Allison, at the beginning, because she's so used to fielding weird requests from me, thought that I had asked for a low sodium suit. That I wanted a suit made of salt because I don't have enough sodium in my face, that I was asking her for a suit. So, now, what are the obstacles in the way of you getting this soup to my father?
Well, I don't live near your dad. There are a few places that sell low sodium soup. Some delis close around 3 o'clock. They're not open at 7 o'clock at night. No. I mean, do you know of a deli that's open at night that has low sodium soup? It's like a specific
Yeah, they close
thing.
after lunch, yeah.
Most supermarkets will carry low sodium soup, but they don't have it warm. You have to heat it up because it couldn't be delivered in a can. He didn't want his dad to do that. So I found someone who lives near your dad that could go to Fresh Market that has low sodium soup, and he could deliver it. Because I was going to personally deliver it, and I found someone, and I was like,
This is only going to be funny to a handful of people.
Yeah, only about 2.
Okay, no, but they're in Miami, and those people are going to find this uproarious, all right? Let me explain to you something. In the history of my father, I have never heard him rip anyone in the media the way that he rips the person that is going to be at the end of the joke. He does it privately. He'll do it publicly if we called him right now. For some reason, my father has developed a totally irrational hatred for a sports commentator that is not this kind of hateable. Okay? Like just hatred, rabid hatred where he'll be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about on anything. And I am so sorry because he's a sweet dude, but it helps with the punchline of the story because it's going to help you guys visually here. And this joke is for about 12 people. Go, Allison.
Well, so I said to him, I found the guy and I was like, okay, can you do this? Can you deliver it to him? And he was like, yes. He went to Fresh Market. They have like the soup bars. He got the soup. And I'm like, don't mess this up. Do not mess this up because he tends to mess things up. He tells me, dropped it off, delivered it, saw him because there's a gate and all kinds of stuff. It was warm. And then he tells me that he put his business card in the bag.
That's right.
And I was like, wait.
That's right.
What?
That's right.
Why would you do that?
That's right.
I lost my mind. I was like, why would you do that? Do you think he's going, well, what if he needs help? I'm like, he's going to call you? Is that what he's going to do? He's going to call you? So.
That's right. And so, why, in God's name, did you think that my father was going to call you from those business cards, Brian the Beast London?
Makes sense.
My father's only phone call to me, a generous act by a kind son who has always wanted his love and will never get it, was to send him soup through my assistant who lovingly found a friend who would go do it. Unfortunately, the only phone call I got as thank you from my father is, Dan, why is Brian the Beast London leaving bleeping business cards in that bag of soup you sent me?
Don Lebatard.
You're just allowed to give me one word on what you think. I tell you, American flag, you give me one word on what you think. Go ahead, Chris. You're only allowed one word.
Freedom.
That's what I was going to go with.
Stugotz.
Guillermo.
Bald eagles.
What?
2 words.
Well,
I mean, God, $2.
That's a fine.
$2. I mean,
That's a fine.
Do you realize how hard it is to be that bad with 2 words, man?
apple pie.
I got 2 words for you.
This is the Don Lebatard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.